come out with a banging project that is different for people to hop on that wave.
So you think the Cardi B's of the world are going to slowly fade away? What do you think?
I don't think they'll fade, but I think it's going to be one of those things where it's either you get with the program or you get left. So once the pressure is put on where people are demanding better content from women rappers, from female rappers, the rappers that we have now, if they can't get with that program and rap on that caliber, I think people will start to shy away from them.
So let's take a listen at this real quick. Now that was very entertaining.
That was.
That was almost gospel.
That's my jam. I was born to flex. Diamonds on my neck.
Wow.
Nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. Hey, that's a bop. That's a bop. I'm sorry. Hey.
So
don't hate the player.
Yeah, hate the game.
She, by the way, is not in nobody's school.
She is. She's taking people to school because I mean, from a business perspective, let's just cut out all
Cardi did
the
it
messaging.
Too.
From a business perspective, she is doing the damn thing.
What?
I mean,
Cardi played the game.
She did.
She played the game on the game.
Yep. I mean, you can't argue with her. I mean, she played the game and she's doing very well. And I guess you just wonder because music, like clothing and other things, is cyclical. Because now people are looking at where are the bands? Where's that? Are there any real love songs? So, and I think that's kind of the direction Jermaine Dupri and some of these other big time producers are moving in. It's like, okay, I know there's for every record that you hear on iTunes or whatever, there are about 300,000 folks that can do their own beats on their computer. So what now? Are we going back to instrumentation and saxophones and violins, that sound of Philadelphia type thing, or are we going to stay in the computer generated age with the steel beats and all that kind of stuff? What do you think, Ambeezy?
Can you rephrase the question? Like, can you say that again?
Nope.
Seriously.
Pay attention.
I'm paying attention, but I don't understand the question.
I'm going to bail you out, Ambeezy.
Help me out.
He was saying, do you think we ever get back to the instrumentation with regard to music and that kind of thing where people are playing instruments, actually? And, I don't think that's coming back.
Yeah.
Because, they've taken, when you talk about public school systems, they've taken all the music out of the school. So where are they going to learn it?
Well, another problem? A lot of American artists, I'm not going to say, here's the thing I love about music. I'm now starting to get into music in other cultures and countries. And I was just having this conversation with my mom. We were talking about how in Europe and China, you can become a huge musical act over there based on performance. People want to see a show. A good show is live instruments because there's an element that live instruments add to any performance that you just can't get from a beat machine. And in America, if you really look at a lot of the artists that are out right now, they have to make up for performances by adding a lot of dancers, adding people on stage, adding visuals, adding all of that. If you look back when Gladys Knight used to perform, when the Jacksons used to perform, it wasn't a whole bunch of dancers up there. It was the act and a band. And you left that performance feeling like it wasn't even a performance, it was an experience. You walked away with that feeling. You don't even really get that from artists anymore in America. a lot of American artists, with the exception of like your Beyoncé's and Rihanna's, but like people don't even really perform to that caliber anymore. And a lot of that performance quality comes from live musicians. And I think that if there is ever a time where people want to get back to really captivating an audience and getting them off their phones, I think maybe that will come back. But I think it really would take, like I said, it really just goes back to, we are in a trendy era. It would take for a big musician to have a hit album or a hit song with live instruments for other people to hop on that wave of live instruments. Because, I mean, now, if you really think about it, a lot of the reason why people use producers and drum machines is because of the cost. It's way more cost efficient to have an engineer in there making you beats than to hire an entire band. And a lot of new artists are independent artists. You don't really need a label anymore. So a lot of these people who start their musical journeys do so by themselves. So do you really want to, pay do you want to pay a producer who can make you a nice beat, or do you want to pay a band?
Well, let me also add this too, Ambeezy. Is the same pressure being put on male rappers as it is on female rappers to be raunchy?
Nope. Because male rappers, their raunchiness is this fake gangsta persona. That is their raunchiness. So just like females use sex to sell, men use I'm hard to sell. That's why 6ix9ine, the rapper 6ix9ine, is in the situation he's in right now. He decided that he wanted to come out and be a blood and do this and all that, and he was faking it the entire time, ended up snitching on people in real life, and now he is in a whole bunch of legal troubles trying to be hard. Rapper Tay-K, that's another new rapper. He made a song that went viral called The Race, where he literally said, it like one of the lines in his song was, but I ain't beat that case. I did the race. Basically, he means that like he got caught for a crime and he was on the run. And he was literally on the run from the crime that he did and released that song. And now he is in jail and they are using the song against him as evidence because he literally admitted what he did in the song. So I think that no, raunchiness is not expected from men, but instead of raunchiness, men feel the need to have to be a gangster or some kind of fake gangbanger or some kind of womanizer.
Wow. So they're just like in sports, then you're saying there's a double standard in the music game.
Yeah, I guess I am kind of saying that.
The double standard everywhere, man.
It is. Everywhere. It's a double standard in the world. I mean, you can look at corporate America, and there are different ways that men maneuver than women do. I mean, that's just the world that we live in. Even if the music climate does change, you're still going to see men becoming successful off different content than women. That's never going to change, in my opinion.
And there are probably more men getting rich off of these women who are,
yep.
As you go up the chain at the top, there's no women handling these women or promote. I mean, maybe on a lower level here, but, big time, someone's dictating to them how they are to be. Where's the Me Too movement in music?
That's a great question.
The equivalent of it. Not that they're being, but where are the people who are going to stand up and be like, now she caught hell back in the day. What was her name? C. Dolores Tucker, when she was taking Snoop Dogg and the rest of those folks to task. Where's someone who was, challenging, folks about this whole rap thing again? Where to take it to another level or something? Maybe they're looking for that.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because, that brings back memories of when NWA was hot and the various community groups were soliciting their state attorney generals, and they were boycotting stores and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you sort of hate to see that kind of stuff happen. You would hope that sort of self-policing, if you will, would occur, and the community would just say, hey, you know what, you know, Mike the Magic Man rapper, you know, tone it down a little bit, you know, because, you know, we get that you have to make $1, and that's all good, but, you know, you're not really doing us any favors by doing what you're doing, as opposed to seeing things get to where it was with NWA. Because if you remember, not only were they boycotting, they actually had police unions and so forth that were challenging them about coming to certain cities and singing certain songs. So, I mean, this is not a new concern.
Right. And I'm not talking about, you know, censorship or that kind of thing at all, which is what I think some of the folks were leaning toward, because I'm not, you know, in that lane at all, but I'm just talking about the image that's projected over time. And I'm thinking, you know, when Cardi B sits down and, you know, becomes a grandmother, I mean, what you gonna tell your granddaughter? You know, by that time, right now she's in 2019, but by then it'll be, you know, years will have gone by, and you will have lost this. You'll have to explain it with a historical context, because of course by that time things will have changed. You know, there were things that we could have said or done, you know, 20 years ago, that if we said now, you know, people would be like, what? And the people who are complaining about it have no historical context about how it was back in the day when it was okay. And I'm just wondering how she's going to be. You know, I'm looking at these folks, you know, with tattoos all over the place when they get to be 70 and 80 years old, and you got, you know, tattoos up around your neck while your great-grandchild is sitting on your lap trying to figure out, what the hell were you thinking, Grandma?
Well, exactly. But, you know, again, if you just look at things historically, now you in the background you hear Sequence, and I remember you had Sequence, Roxanne Shante, you know, that whole group of rappers, female rappers back in the early 80s and mid 80s, and you sort of had the same type of concerns being expressed. You know, what is this rap stuff, and why are they wearing tennis shoes with no laces, or, you know, what's that all about? And hats on crooked, and all the jewelry, what's that all about? So it just seems like with every generation, there is a different concern about the music. Now, the attire and the whole newness of rap was a concern for folks back during that time. And I guess now we've sort of evolved from the hardcore edge of NWA and all those guys to just say whatever you feel, just make sure it's nasty era that we appear to be in now. So every generation has had a challenge just in terms of, you know, I'll call it lyrical freedom, and everyone is asked the same question. So I guess the question I'm asking tonight from you and Ambezi is, what do you think is next?
That's a good question. I don't know about that one. You said you got Sequence playing in the background. Now, see, now, Ambezi, now, in Sequence, you talking about Megan Thee Stallion trying to make that switch from rapping to R&B. The only one who kind of was able to do that with Sequence was Angie Stone.
Yep. That's actually crazy. I just talked to her today.
Did you just talk to Angie Stone?
I did, this morning.
Did you tell her I love her? Where's her music? Some more music.
No, you should. Oh, she just dropped a new album. Actually.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick it up. She dropped it.
You should. It's very good. It's called Full Circle.
I know it's good because she's got that kind of talent. So
yeah, she has that crossover talent. And to answer your question, I think that I might be being optimistic, but I really do feel, just based on the way things are coming together right now in the music industry, that you're going to start really seeing what artists are made of. I think that what you're going to see soon is, or I think what you're going to see is basically artists being called out. Like, yes, you're famous and you're here, but like, what are your talents really? I think that artists are going to be forced to kind of go out of their comfort zone and show what they're really made